Great morning and happy Monday. This is Kristen Young, the marriage enthusiast, with your Monday morning marriage-minded message from Living the Vows. So today I want to know, how long are you going to continue lying to your spouse? See, a lot of times we fall into the trap that in order to show love towards one another and to keep the peace, we say what our spouses want to hear. Especially the men, you fall into that trap of telling us that we look fabulous in that dress when we honestly probably need to switch to another one, get a larger size, whatever the case may be. And honestly, it may boil down to, sweetheart, I know you've been talking about it, but you need to work a little bit harder to drop those pounds so you can fit into the dress the way you would like to. But all too often we fall into the trap of saying what our spouses want to hear. And a lot of times we don't even realize how negligent that is and how ineffective that is within our marriage and for our spouse's personal being. And in order for us to grow, it's important for us to recognize that as husband and wife, we are truly the closest human beings to each other on the entire earth. So we have a responsibility to uphold in order to make sure our spouses are at their peak, are at their best at all times. So yes, you're going to have those times where we fall short, where we're going through the growth process, but that is until death. But it's up to us when we see areas where we can improve, where there are opportunities to make a shift, there's opportunities to explore changes and new treatments, new opportunities to grow. It's up to us as spouses to be able to have that heart-to-heart conversation. Even though it may be difficult for some scenarios, it's important because when you come from the heart and you're saying it one-on-one to your spouse, definitely not in a group setting, but when you're coming one-on-one with your spouse and you're truly speaking from the heart, it will be received. And more often than not, even if there's some tension or some frustration or some deflection in that moment when you're having that conversation, I guarantee you it's being heard. And sometimes it may take a little while to seep in and really get to the point where we want to make that change as an individual. But it's up to us as spouses to be able to say to our spouses, this is where I see you can improve because I want you to be at your best. So it can be something like, your spouse has a bad breath issue. You know, it's not just because you ate onions or you just had some Doritos, but your breath gets stale over time, and it does get a little offensive. We all have a certain level type of body odor. Some people's are a little bit stronger, and that's just the way it is. It's not saying your spouse doesn't brush his teeth 2-3 times a day. Doesn't mean your spouse doesn't suck on a mint. But sometimes over time, it gets stale and it's a little more offensive than other people. If that is the case, you need to have that conversation with your spouse and see what options there are. Next dental appointment, see what opportunities there are to make that shift. Maybe it just means carrying around some Listerine and making a habit of doing a little chug every couple of hours or so. Or it could be something a little more dramatic with medical issues. But it's up to you to be able to say that to your spouse and say that in a private yet loving situation. Other times it may be your spouse is frustrated because they can't get this job that they've wanted and they've applied over and over again and they've talked to their bosses and what have you. You may have already recognized the fact that your spouse maybe needs to step up their speaking skills or step up their writing skills. It's up to you to have that heart-to-heart one-on-one conversation and say, hey, let's look into taking a few classes. It doesn't always mean going back and getting a degree, but it may be taking a few classes on public speaking or writing or just brushing up on some basic grammatical skills. Whatever the case may be, as a husband, as a wife, it is your responsibility. The same way we would do it with our children. We want them to be our best. But guess what? Your husband, your wife is the most important. They trump your children. So if you're going to do it for your children, you absolutely have to do it for your spouse. So I encourage you to stop lying to your spouse. Make sure you tell them the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God. So I love you. Thank you so much for tuning in this week and every Monday. We share these messages with you. Please let us know if this is helpful to you. We always encourage you to like us on Facebook. You can go to Living the Vows on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We are there. Make sure you follow us, like us. You can also email us directly, yes, at livingthevows.com. That's yes, Y-E-S, at livingthevows.com. And of course, you can go to our brand new website, www.livingthevows.com. Check it out, browse around, see how you like it. Let us know how you like it, what you would like to see more of. Let us know so we can serve you better. And of course, we always want to be able to create that opportunity for you. So if there's anything we can serve you with in your marriage, you contact us, let us know, and we will make it happen for you. So take care, have an intentional Monday, have an intentional week, and we will see you next Monday.